how large can snails and slugs get? Do we have fossils of them?
Well, the land snails, the big acatinas from West Africa, you can get up to over a foot long. That's the land snails. In the sea, they get extremely big. So there's the Australian trumpet, which I think grows to about 3 feet long. That's the sea snail. And the biggest ones are in the sea. You've got your horse conch, for example. That's a whopper. Sea slugs are bigger as well in the sea. I think it's called the Californian sea slug. That grows, I think it weighs around 19 kilos. It's about 3 feet long. It's a huge black sea hare. It's a massive thing. But on land, the biggest land slug we have is actually from this country. It's called Limax niger, and it's the ash black, and it is an indicator of ancient woodland, and it can grow. There are rare figures of about 30 centimeters long for an outstretched individual. So that's a pretty big land slug for the UK and across the world. The Area Limax banana slugs are the second big contender, and they'll grow to about, for the grandparents, about 10, 11 inches long, and they're whoppers. So on land, they are big, but not as big as those live in the sea. And fossil remains, that's not my should you say speciality, but perhaps Joseph could that perhaps answer that. But I do know there's lots of fossil evidence of obviously land snails and sea snails.
Yeah. If we go into the sea snail world, the sort of the marine gastropod type things, if you look up some of the marine gastropods that you get from France, and we're talking shells that can get sort of 1.5 meters in length, huge, great big things. Their name actually is Giganteum, right? Is their species name, and they're identical to certain types of modern sea snails as well, with one exception. They used to be big, now they're little. So they've changed for sure, but they haven't evolved. They've gone downhill. So you've got this same sort of evidence of good to bad to worse, this diversity that you see, but simply not being able to sustain such a size anymore. But yes, you can get very, very large fossil ones as well. But then, I mean, your giant clams and the like are still your mollusks, even though they're not snails and slugs. They're still in the sort of the mollusky shelled kind of grouping that we've grouped them in. So they can get pretty big, the giant clams as well.